Okay, let's see what Colin and Nick are talking about with Sam Darnold. Kind of interested to hear their take on this.
Nick Wright is now going to our contract, so he'll get a Baker contract. And one of the things about the NFL, because of the scarcity of games, is every game matters. We've seen coaches that have a job and then lose it. I mean, literally overnight. Yep. I mean, if Sean McDermott would have lost to Denver, we would feel different about Sean McDermott today than we feel about beating Denver.
Absolutely.
And my thing with Darnold was eventually, over the course of a season, that's why I say the Chiefs winning isn't luck, the truth comes out. And Darnold now will get a Baker contract. I think he deserves that. Do you not?
Well, here's the thing. And this is what I love about the NFL and why I get so annoyed with folks who try to make excuses. I'm not talking about this conversation for certain players, and they're like, "Oh, small sample size." It's a small sample size sport.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
And 12 days ago, no, not 12 days ago, 14 days ago, Colin, 14 days, I sat here with you and I said, not you, I said that if Darnold plays great that coming Sunday night against Detroit, that he has to get legitimate MVP consideration and show up at least on the bottom of people's ballots. And I stand by that. That was 14 days ago. But because it's a small sample size sport, when the sample is the two biggest games of your season and the two biggest games of your career, you instantly go back to seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
And your team scores 9 points, then all of a sudden, folks are going to say, MVP, forget that. And actually, we want J.J. McCarthy as our quarterback. And actually, any contending team is not going to be able to sell their fan base that he is the guy to get us over the hump. So I don't think you were crazy 2 weeks ago when you said if he wins that game against Detroit and they're the 1 seed and have the bye, that he's looking at high 40s, low 50s.
Yeah.
I also think now he might be looking at another 1-year prove-it deal. Maybe someone gives him the Baker deal, but I don't know. And so it's one of the beautiful things about professional football. It's also one of the cruel things about professional football. Sam walked into that game against Detroit with the world at his fingertips. If he played great and they won, it's generational wealth and rewriting the story of his career. Instead, he played his worst game of the year until last night, which was even worse. And now for a lot of people, it's same old Sam. And it's a shame, but that's the sport. That's the life they've chosen, so to speak.
So I'm going to get to Ravens Bills, but I want to...
Yeah, I have egg on my face. I was a Sam Darnold believer, only because I watched him in college, and I thought he was going to be something in the league. And then when he finally was having this good season this year, I was like, yeah, this is the Sam Darnold I thought we were going to see. Not a guy who can make plays like Allen or Lamar, but a guy who just stands in the pocket, gets the ball to the receivers, doesn't make mistakes. And for 16 weeks, we saw that. He looked great. I thought this is finally. Like, we've seen it in the past with other quarterbacks who it took a while before they got good. Like Rich Gannon comes to mind. Rich Gannon was a career backup. And then he became a league MVP. Steve Young was also... He started as a backup. And obviously, you're backing up Joe Montana. That's going to happen. You're going to start as a backup. But eventually, he became a starter. Kurt Warner started as a backup. Started in like NFL Europe. Became a backup. Then like had a Hall of Fame career. So it happens. And I thought, okay, Sam Darnold. It just took him a while, but he's finally arrived. And then that Detroit game happened, and it's like, ugh. We'll see how he does next week. And then next week happened, and it was like double. Ugh. I don't put the whole loss to the Rams on Darnold, though. That was just a catastrophe from top to bottom as far as the Vikings go. And I just don't think their coach was prepared for the playoffs. I really don't. But that being said, yeah, Sam Darnold, I feel like still deserves another shot in Minnesota. Now, I'm not saying give him a long-term deal, and I'm not even saying giving him a Baker Mayfield contract. I think you just franchise him and you say, go get him, champ. And if it doesn't work out, you've got the rookie waiting in the wings who's not going to be a rookie next season. I also think I could see the other way. You've got a rookie quarterback. You're very high on that quarterback, and you let Darnold go. And Darnold goes somewhere else. And he already is, but he becomes even more of a journeyman quarterback. But maybe he has a career more like Ryan Fitzpatrick than he does like who's that guy in New England? The guy who started this year. More like Ryan Fitzpatrick than Jacoby Brissett. That was the name I was looking for. Or Josh McCown. Josh McCown is another name that comes to mind. That he was just a career backup. Never really was a starter. Had a couple chances to start. Never really amounted to anything. Career backup. Jacoby Brissett he's more of a transitional quarterback. He's the guy who's going to start you, but keep the seat warm for the rookie. Tyrod Taylor's kind of in a similar spot to that nowadays too. Sam Darnold, he could be a Tyrod Taylor. He could be a Jacoby Brissett. He's that guy. He's the guy that's going to keep the seat warm for the starter, for the future. But he's your interim starter. He's Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's who Sam Darnold is now. I thought he was going to be not like an elite quarterback, but I thought he was going to be, mid-tier starting quarterback. It's just not the case. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Where do you think Sam Darnold's going to end up? I still think he ends up in Minnesota. I think they're going to franchise him and give him one more year. I could also see them moving on. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.